Hey folks, David Stewart here. For today's little educational video, which I'm going to try to do in one take, I'd like to show you how to turn your ebook cover into a full wrapped paperback cover. I'm going to just try to show the simplest steps for how to format it and set it up so that you can design a really beautiful paperback cover based on an ebook cover that you already have. The image editor that I'm going to be using is Photoshop. You can use a free alternative such as Inkscape. I have videos on how to do this on Inkscape. It's a little bit more complicated. Photoshop works a little bit better. It's very easy to do this in Photoshop. Basically what you're doing is getting a template from Amazon and then using that to set up all your guides and where your ebook cover is going to be to generate your paperback. This process, by the way, will not be that different if you're using Ingram Spark or if you're using Lulu. You're going to go through their portals and everything to set that up. So it'll be a little bit different with them than it is with Amazon, but I do pretty much all my books Amazon print on demand, and I think a lot of people will be interested in setting that up to enhance their book selling business. So that's what I'm doing here. So the first thing you'll need is your ebook cover. Whatever maybe you had a designer do it, maybe you did it yourself, maybe you bought one, doesn't matter. So you have your ebook cover and you'd like to turn it into this. Second thing you'll need is your formatted book interior, hopefully in PDF format. I don't want to go too deep into exactly how to format the interior of your book because I have other videos on how to do that. And there are many other videos on YouTube from authors showing you exactly how to do that. But I will go through the exact things to make a 5x8 if that's what you want to make, because I'll be making this into a 5x8, exact measurements and really basic tips to set up your interior so it'll look good. I'm not going to go through every design detail, but the main thing is you want it to be a PDF because first of all, the PDF is going to tell you the real number of pages that are going to show up, 80 in this case, so it's a short book. The other reason is PDFs will hopefully embed your fonts. So if you use Adobe's actual Acrobat software, it will embed the fonts that you design in Microsoft Word or whatever program you happen to be using. I'll be showing Microsoft Word because that's what I use for everything. This will be the same from Microsoft Word 2010 onward. Will pretty much be exactly the same for everything that I'm going to say, just so you know how to do any of this. So if you just upload a Word document to Amazon, just so you know, if you're using a premium font like Arno Pro, it may not show up and instead it'll revert to Times New Roman. If you're just using Times New Roman or something similar, Times New Roman is probably my best recommendation for free fonts to put, it's a system font. It actually does look pretty good. There's major publishers who still use Times New Roman. Times New Roman is not a bad font. So if you're using Times New Roman, yeah, you can just use a Word document now on Amazon's process. You don't even have to do the PDF. But if you're using a premium font, actually convert it into a PDF beforehand. And you're going to want something like PDF Maker to do it. If you do print as PDF, it won't embed the fonts. You need Adobe's software to do it properly 100% of the time. Sorry, that's just how it is. So first thing, we're just going to hit margins, go to custom margins. I'm going to show you all the measurements that I do for an 8x5. You can just duplicate them and your 8x5 will have like the correct proportions inside the book. So all the margins are 0.5, top, inside, bottom, outside. I have a gutter of 0.2 because this is a short book. You can do a bigger gutter if it's a longer book. So because this book's really short, I feel like I don't need any bigger gutter than about 1/4 inch. The longer the book is, the bigger the gutter is, and you may just want to increase that a little bit. I'm not going to give you a math formula for it, but that's mine. So if you have a longer book, maybe do 0.25 or 0.3 inches to get a bigger gutter size. If it's too big, your things are going to look asymmetrical when a reader's actually opening up to look at it. Okay. You want mirror margins. You want to make sure you do whole document and not just this section. So you're going to do whole document. Boom. That's going to set all your margins. Before you even exit this, paper size, width 5, 8, height 8. Apply to whole document. Again, not this section, whole document. Layout. Section starts, new page. This will make you stop having like page numbers restarting in different places. You want different odd and even pages, different first pages. That way your page numbers won't show up on your chapter pages. They won't show up on your copyright pages and things like that. Header and footer, both 1/4 inch from the bottom. Vertical alignment top. Whole document setup. This will set up everything correctly for you. So that'll give you an 8x5 interior with the correct margins. I recommend that all of your indents are 1/4 inch, not a 1/2 inch. They're going to look very awkward as a 1/2 inch. If you're just using tabs, you are going to want to reformat your interior to use these indents. I'm not going to go through all the process on how to do that, but you just need to have that. And you're going to want section breaks to be next page rather than just page breaks by themselves. That will ensure that you don't have a page number that shows up on these chapter pages. So you have it set up, new section is next page. You want to actually have the next page thing actually show up for you. Now, right here, I actually have a little bit of something that shouldn't be in the document, a bunch of spaces for some reason. Sometimes when you show all the formatting marks, you end up with, oh, there's something there that wasn't supposed to be there. So I'll just take my time to correct that, and I'll make a new PDF out of that. So once that's completely formatted, you're going to want a title page, copyright page, basic stuff, another title page, probably table of contents. This one's short, so I'm skipping table of contents. We don't need it. For a book this short, I'm not going to bother with it. There's only 5 chapters, so we just hop right into it. Maybe an about the author page, and you're good to go with this. Over here, you go to create PDF, and then you're going to make a print ready PDF. It's going to look like this, and this will tell you the precise number of pages. When we go to our template, we're going to go to the Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing template. I will link it in the description. It is kdp.amazon.com/en_us/cover-templates. That's the URL. You're going to select the cut size that you want. We're doing 5x8, so I'm selecting 5x8. You're going to put in the page count, 80. You're not going to put in the number of pieces of paper, which would be 40. You're going to put in the number of pages in your print ready PDF. That will give you the correct width. Okay, someone asked about that in a video the other day. So that's your answer. You put in the pages that it says on your PDF, 80 pages for this one. You don't put in the number of pieces of paper, and you select your color. I recommend cream for fiction, white maybe for nonfiction, white if you just want something that's really bright. And in fact, I think I like white maybe a little bit better if there's a lot of graphics in your paperback. So if you have a lot of drawings, if you're doing like maybe a print-on-demand manga or something like that, white looks a little bit better. I think it makes the art look quite a bit crisper. And the pages are a little bit slicker, which I think helps the black ink not be gray as much. But for just regular prose reading, I like the cream paper. I think it has a little bit softer look, and so I like it better. You're going to hit download cover template. It will download a zip file that will have a PDF in it, and it will have a PNG in it. We're going to use the PDF. The PDF will have the correct sizes. You could use the PNG for Inkscape or something like that, and that will work fine as well. But I'm going to be using the PDF. In fact, I already have it ready to be opened here in Photoshop. So rather than starting a new document and trying to enter in a bunch of things about exactly how big it is, you're just going to go ahead and open up the PDF. And this will create your new document right here. So we'll just create a new document here, and boom, we have all our measurements already set up. Everything is ready to go for what we want to do right here. Now, before I go any further, I'm going to set up some guides for this paperback cover. Now, to do guides in Inkscape, it's a little bit different, but it's more or less the same thing. You're going to drag a guide from the ruler down onto these dotted lines. This way, when we start layering things on top of this, this image here, we don't need it anymore because we have these nice bright cyan guidelines. So we want one on all the dotted lines. That is where the actual cut is going to occur when you are making the paperback, where like the page will actually be cut. And the pink area is kind of the no-no area where you don't want to have any text, because the cuts are often inaccurate with Amazon and with every print-on-demand service. So you actually want to make sure that you don't have any text that goes right up to the edge of the page, or it could get cut off. And in fact, Amazon will kick your paperback back to you if there's anything in that pink area. So we're going to do all of our content, all of our words content within these blue areas. And we are going to do the same thing for the spine. So we're going to mark where the safe areas begin, And then we're also going to mark where the actual folds of the spine occur, because if we want to put some text on that spine, that's where we're going to put it. Now, if you are doing a book that's this short, you may not actually be able to put any text on the spine, which is fine. You know, this is a short book. If it's, this is only like a 20,000 word book. I don't know if I have like a really short book here, but if it gets too narrow, there may not be enough room for words on the spine. And if that's the case, because this is entirely pink, this will just be like a little mini book without any words on the spine. We won't have to worry about that. But I'll show you how to put words on the spine just for fun. So now that we have all of this stuff set up, the last place that we're going to put our guides is where our barcode location is. So I'm just going to drag a couple of guides down here to mark where the barcode is. That's going to be a standard barcode location for Amazon. Your barcode might be in a different place for a different printer, so keep that in mind. You may have to redesign this to do a print run with Lulu or something like that. Now from there, I'm going to go ahead and let's see here. Here it is. I'm going to grab my my ebook cover right here, and I'm just going to drag it right in. There it is. Boom. Now, we really would like this to go pretty much towards the edge here. But as you can see, the words are already lining up into the unsafe area. So from here, we're going to click on our chain link, and we're just going to shrink it up a little bit so that all of our words are nicely within this area. We're really wanting this 8x5 to line up pretty close to the lines here. And that's what I'm actually wanting, because I designed this at 8x5, more or less. So if I put it like right on the edges of the lines here, the proportions when it gets printed are going to be pretty much perfect. But I can see this bottom line here is the bottom of the barcode. So this David V. Stewart is actually completely safe. So everything here looks like it's going to be completely safe when we print it. But if we were to just leave it like this, we'd have like white pages around the edges. We'd have this like white border. And anytime there'd be a cut, there'd be like this like bright white edge on the edge of your cover, which you really don't want. So the next thing that we're going to do, really simple, is we're going to create another layer. And first of all, we'll hit that and place our file. We're going to create another layer, and we're going to go to Edit, Fill, or Shift F5, which will do it, and we're going to make it black. Boom. Now we have a cover where we can put whatever we want on this cover. If I want to put the title text here, I'm just going to type it out. It's going to be huge here. Let's make it white so we can actually see it. The Wasting Desert. And click that here. Make sure we have that on and kind of get it where we want. And I'm actually going to bring that up here so I can really see it good. And let's make it all capitals. And we can, let's actually this. Let's take this, let's make it 12 point. Be small, right? And then from here, we can go to Edit, Transform, Rotate 90 degrees clockwise. And we just put that title right in here. And I actually may try uploading it with this title on here. And then we can put our author name, David V. Stewart. Transform, rotate 90 degrees clockwise. And we can also change some of our, some of our fonts over here too. So did I make this one? Let's make it 12. That's pretty small. But I can change this one to say, let's make it Trajan. That's a little bit bolder and a more aggressive font. I think this book's short enough that I actually won't be able to do this, but we could try it. Why not? So we have these two things here. You can, of course, with these, make them whatever color you want. Let's make it like a little deserty yellow, a little bit yellow here. And this one we can make a nice red if we want. Let's make it like a nice orange. There we go. This will look okay, And then what you would put here, you grab a text box, and just within the safe area, You can drag a text box. Remember this line right here is lined up over the barcode. And here's where you would copy and paste in your blurb. I haven't written a blurb yet, so we can just pretend here. This is where the blurb is, or the back title text. Then we're going to do like left. Wondering. Let's change the font here. Change it to, oh, it could be anything. You can make it Futura if you wanted, because it's here. Wondering, oh, didn't change. Let's make it Arno. Arno Pro Regular. Wondering, let's take that off. There we go. Wandering the desert are ghosts and stuff. But these ghosts are totally scary and cool. Will the characters survive? There you go. Worst blurb ever, but I haven't written a blurb. That's where you'll put your blurb. Down here, I like to put some different branding on mine. Usually I'll have like a DVS Press or like my websites. It's a great little place right here to put more information. And that's pretty much all you have to do to get your wrap here. Now, to get this out and into Amazon's system, like ready to be printed, you want to make sure, just go over everything, make sure nothing is out of the safe area for printing. Make sure everything looks reasonably good. If you are looking at your file and you don't like how it just ends maybe on the spine, what you can actually do is you can take this, and I'm just gonna scoot it just a bit, and you can hit this little button down here and make a layer mask, and from here we can just sort of just paint out the edges here in a layer mask like this. This is like 50% opacity, and I just kind of soften the edges so we don't see like where the image just kind of ends. Things kind of fade to the edge, and this looks pretty good just like that. And I'll maybe do the same thing over on this edge, just kind of make things fade more to the edge. And boom, that's it. So now no more harsh lines or things like that, and we can probably do the same thing for the planet. Just kind of make it fade to the top here. And that's really all we have to do to get it done. From here, you're going to go to Automate PDF Presentation. You're going to go to Add Open Files, and that's the file that you're going to add. Actually, before we do this, let's save it as instead of the cream, we're going to save it as Wasting Desert paperback. Okay, maximize compatibility. All right, then we're going to export the PDF. So we're going to automate PDF presentation, add open files like this one. Multi-page document background, you can make it black or white, doesn't really matter because we're with an image. We don't really have to worry about too much of anything else. Just hit save, and then we can go ahead and pop it in here. Make it as the paperback cover. And you can go through some compression options. Generally, you are going to want minimum of 300 pixels an inch. And if you have it too much above that, you can actually make your PDF so big that you can't upload it. So 300 DPI is going to be good for printing. When your printer actually does it, it's going to be way higher DPI. But this is like display DPI. So 300 pixels an inch is good. And there you go. Just hit Optimize for Fast Web Preview so we can see it. Hit Save PDF. And then we can find it in here. Here it is. And there you have it. There's your paperback cover right there. Okay, so that's how you do it. It's not that complicated. This is the things that you would upload to Amazon and create paperback. I could show that process in a different video. But once you have all this made, this is the stuff, you just upload it, right? You just upload your PDF, you just upload your print ready PDF of your book cover file, and bam, you are ready to go with your printed book. So thanks so much, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and you can be on my mailing list, dvspress.com/list, and I'll let you know what's going on with this book or anything else. So have a great one, and I will see you guys next time.